Hello, good afternoon, and very warm welcome to Gratitude. Thank you all for being here and for being a member of our community of Hunger Warriors. I'm Erica, Acting Director of Operations for TAPFUK, and it is my honor to welcome each and every one of you here today. Today's gathering is in tribute to our wide community of donors, whom without your ongoing support, none of the work that we do would be possible. Mahatma Gandhi said, "Food is God." And today we gather to acknowledge and celebrate that our communal efforts result in not only alleviating hunger, but support growth, learning, development, and perhaps most importantly of all, keeping dreams alive in every community we serve. Without further ado, I introduce and hand over to our CEO, Bhavani, who will share some opening remarks and updates before we take you through our journey of the past year and sharing our humble thanks and gratitude with you today. Hi, Bhavani, over to you.
Hello, Erica, and hello all of the friends of Akshaya Patra who logged in from different parts of the world to be with us this afternoon. We are in complete gratitude to all of you for the wonderful work that you allow us and help us do. But before we go any further, I think this is really an opportune moment, an important moment for us to pause and really pay gratitude to some of our colleagues and friends and many supporters who have lost their lives and perhaps even suffered unbelievably during this pandemic. So if I may, I'd like to invite you just to observe a minute of silence to really honor some of our colleagues and some of our friends and some of our supporters who unfortunately aren't with us anymore. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So here we are. You saw some pictures on your screens. For those of you who were able to see them, we've lost some of our colleagues who, despite all the precautions, despite every possible measure of safety and security, lost their lives in serving all the people that we've been trying to serve over the past few years. Right now, as we speak, India is going through a terrible wave of the pandemic. And I join a whole lot of my colleagues and all of you in extending our best wishes to all of us and all of our colleagues and friends and supporters who are trying to do their very best in this time of crisis. So this is also an opportunity for us to really talk about all of the challenges and some of the good work that we've been able to undertake over the last year. During the course of this event, you'll hear some wonderful stories. You'll have my colleagues talking to you about what we've been up to, where your funds have gone, and some of the successes we've had. We've been able to bring really a lot of smiles on the faces of people. So very quickly, let me just walk you through what we've been up to in the last 1 year in India. Clearly, we've been in the throes of the pandemic. So in India, in the last 1 year, we've served more than 130 million meals by now all over the country. It's been phenomenal. And to me, what really is the most gratifying aspect of that is the reason why we were able to do this and do this very quickly is because a very large number of people these kids who graduated from Akshaya Patra schools, who are now working. They are professionals. A lot of them are accountants, doctors, engineers, business people. They came together to create an amazing volunteer force. We had thousands of these volunteers. They have created their own organization called IKEA, which is Akshaya Patra Youth Association. And thousands of them came together to say, hello, we will provide you with the arms and legs and the minds, and let's try and serve as many as possible. So we were able to then very quickly morph our services because schools are closed. Our kitchens had to be shut down. But we said, what is the best we can do to make sure that these children who are learning at home and people who are generally in need for a plate of food should be served? So we created what we call happiness boxes. And these happiness boxes have gone to millions and millions of children and people, so that we were trying to make sure that none of the children that together you and us serve are deprived of a plate of food. And these happiness boxes go beyond just food. A lot of these boxes contain stationery, writing material, because we were able to validate these boxes with the Indian biometric system. We were also able to understand the profile of the children in the families we were reaching these happiness boxes to. So if there was a girl child in the family, we made sure that the box contained sanitary napkins. If a child came back to us and said they needed extra support for learning and training, we made sure that through our volunteer workforce, we were able to provide it. So we really, I think, it makes me very, very proud and grateful that we were able to serve so many children and so many families, so many migrant workers over the year, despite the challenges that the pandemic threw at us. We have served hot meals to those who could not cook at home. We have served meals on the streets for those who are migrating. As you know, the challenges that we had with mass labor migration about 8 months ago. And we provided these happiness boxes at home to children who were learning at home whilst the schools are closed. And that work will continue. In fact, what we are doing right now is going even a step further. We are providing a water service to people who need water at transit points. We are also providing services to make sure that any extra educational support that these children need, because they've really lost a lot over the year. The data shows that a very large number of these children from deprived families have lost between 6 months to 8 months of education as a result of this learn from home situation that we have. And we will, going forward, along with a whole load of our partner organizations and wonderful bunch of volunteers, continue to serve them in ways that allow us to do a lot more than only serve a plate of food. Of course, that's something that we will continue to do a lot more with. Alongside this work, we were also, as some of you would know, we were also able to do some wonderful work in the United Kingdom. Our facility in the UK is up and running. We are serving more than 5,000 meals, close to 5,000 meals every day as we speak. About 3,000 of these meals go to the homeless and the poor every morning from our kitchen in Watford. And then we've been serving schools. We've served schools during Christmas holidays. We launched the kitchen in October. And since then, we have served close to 500,000 meals. And we are looking at serving more than 1 million meals from our kitchen in the UK. And as you see in these pictures, children in Tower Hamlets, children in Southall, in Hounslow, in Harrow, in Ealing, in Camden, in many, many parts of Greater London have been receiving a fantastic hot plate of food. And those schools that have not been able to put the infrastructure together to serve a hot plate of food to their children have been served these happiness boxes from our kitchen in Watford. So we are extending our learnings that we've had in India for the last 20 years into the work that we've been doing in the UK. It's not possible without your support. One of the big milestones that we achieved this year was with our partners Dishoom. As you know, that in 2015 with Ramadan, we started this experiment with Dishoom, and Dishoom were very generous to really look at a possibility where for every meal that someone had in their restaurants, a child was served in the UK and in India. And we have now, together with Dishoom and another partner charity, Magic Breakfast, we've been able to serve 10 million meals. And really, my heart goes out and immense gratitude goes out to Shamil and his team at Dishum, because what has been made possible by a small amount of money on a per unit basis, with the impact that has created, is phenomenal. And similarly, there are partnerships with many, many others. We have some young people, some of our young ambassadors, really going above and beyond to do a lot more for the children we serve in India and in the UK. So I just cannot rattle out the list of our wonderful supporters. You know who you are. But this is really a moment for me to acknowledge the immense gratitude that me and my team feel, because without you, we are not able to do any bit of this. With your support, and in many ways, your support has come through with money, which we all very, very, very gratefully acknowledge. But you've been kind, you've listened to us. I've had the occasion to just pick up the phone and speak to some of you over the course of the year, because there were times that I felt distraught. I felt, how on earth are we going to do the work that we set ourselves up to do? And with your support, and with the grace of God, and with the wonderful blessings we have of the universe, we've been able to do quite a bit, which we all very, very proud of. And once again, on behalf of the millions and millions of children and families we've been able to support in the UK and in India, you have my immense gratitude, my pranams, and may the universe and the Lord bless us all. Thank you. Over to you, Juhi.
Thank you, Bhavani. And a very warm welcome from me. My name is Judy, and I'm very proud to be part of the Akshaya Patra UK team. Bhavani spoke a lot about our COVID relief efforts in India. And unfortunately, like you also mentioned, India is going through another pandemic wave. So we are definitely committed to providing all the relief that we can as an organization. But we are also hoping that we can resume our flagship midday meal program, which most of you know. We serve 1.8 million children across 19,000 plus schools all across India every day. So please have a look at a video montage that we put together to have a glimpse of the impact that the MDM program has had.
पर अक्षय पात्र अपने जो है ना बड़ा शुद्ध मतलब हाइजेनिक और गर्म खाना बच्चों को अवेलेबल होता है, वो खाना तो इनके घर में ही नहीं मिलता। बच्चे आते हैं और जैसे हम इनको साफ़ सफाई से बताते हैं, नाखून काटना है, हाथ धोना है, अपनी जगह साफ़ करनी है, बिछाना है, खाना बड़ा प्रॉपर तरीके से और गर्म, मतलब अपना जब से चालू हुआ है ना, इसके बाद से बच्चों की जो हेल्थ और हाइट है, इसमें तो अभूतपूर्व सुधार हुआ। जो बात है सर, वो फैक्ट है ये बात।
और बच्चों को खाना अच्छा भी लगता है? बच्चों को
खाना बहुत अच्छा लगता है सर, क्योंकि वैरायटी चेंज होती है। कभी केक आते हैं, बिस्कुट वगैरह आते हैं, पहले भी आया है सर, दलिया है, मीठा खीर वगैरह सब आता है। ये नहीं कि आज ही आया है केक, नहीं ऐसा नहीं है, केक आता है, बराबर आता है।
और कम तो नहीं पड़ता?
नहीं, सफिशिएंट सर, सफिशिएंट।
जितने भी बच्चे स्कूल में हैं सब यही खाना खाते हैं?
जी बिल्कुल यही खाना खाते हैं, घर से लाते ही नहीं है।
अच्छा,
क्योंकि ये सब लेबर क्लास के बच्चे हैं, करीब सब गरीब तबके के बच्चे हैं। और कुछ बच्चे तो एक्चुअल में यहाँ आते ही खाना खाने के लिए हैं, लेकिन जब यहाँ का पढ़ाई का माहौल वगैरह देखते हैं ना, तो फिर ये यहाँ पर पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं। और अपना जो विद्यालय है, ये एक उत्कृष्ट विद्यालय, गुड बेटर एंड द बेस्ट स्कूल।
Hare Krishna, I am Yagneshwar Das. I oversee operations at Akshaya Patra Foundation, Kandi, Hyderabad branch. This is a beautiful kitchen that we have put on about 3 years back. It's supposed to be the largest among all the kitchens that what we have today across India. This kitchen can prepare about a lakh of meals. There's about 100,000 meals within a span of about 3 hours. We have put on the best technological equipments to ensure that a hygienic quality meal is delivered to the children on time and which is nutritious also. Now let's go into the kitchen and see the operations.
Hello ma'am, this is Nisha. I'm from Devanalli, Vijaypura. I'm 23 years old and I am presently working in Indian Railway as a TNC. It is a wonderful opportunity for me to share all my experience about Akshaya Patra. And also it's my personal opinion that a good meal can lead a student to concentrate well in their studies. Basically, the government school students are from poor family where they can't fulfill their basic needs also. In that situation, Akshaya Patra serving or providing a good hot meals to every students in every day. It was very tasty and it was very high, having with much protein. Overall, I'm thanks to Akshaya Patra and their team for their social work, and also the team helped me to grab my higher education through scholarship also. So thank you very much for everyone. This is Nisha. I'm signing off.
Can't hear you, Julie. Sorry. Sorry, Julie. Could you turn your audio on, please?
Apologies. I'm hoping that was very heartwarming, and you got a glimpse into the impact that the MDM program has had over children and the schools that we offer this service to. Now, I'm sure all of us are ready for a little bit of entertainment. Please let's have a listen to a lovely soulful song from an Indian singer who hopefully needs no introduction, the one and only Shankar Mahadev. Enjoy.
Akshaya Patra is an organization that, feeds more than 1.5 million children a day. What an amazing achievement. It's about giving happiness to millions of children from all over the world. So I'd like to dedicate the next song to these children. It's a song from one of our films called Tare Zameen Par. These young kids, they are all stars that have descended on the earth. So a song dedicated to all these people.
देखो इन्हें ये है ओस की बूंदें, पत्तों की गोद में आसमां से कूदे, अंगड़ाई ले फिर करवट बदल कर, नाजुक सी मोती हंस दे फिसल कर, खो न जाए ये ज़मीं पर। ये तो है सर्दी में धूप की किरणें, उतरे जो आंगन को सुनहरा सा करने, मन के अंधेरों को रोशन सा कर दे, ठिठुरती हथेली की रंगत बदल दे, खो न जाए ये तारे ज़मीं पर। The next few lines are describing these wonderful children. Listen to the lyrics. जैसे आंखों की डिबिया में निंदिया और निंदिया में मीठा सा सपना और सपने में मिल जाए फरिश्ता सा कोई जैसे रंगों भरी पिचकारी जैसे तितलियां फूलों की क्यारी जैसे बिना मतलब का प्यारा रिश्ता हो कोई ये तो आशा की लहर है ये तो उम्मीद की सहर है खुशियों की नहर है खो न जाए ये तारे जमीन पर Ladies and gentlemen, the person who wrote this song, Prasud Joshi. देखो रातों के सीने पे ये तो झिलमिल की सिलों से उगे हैं ये तो अंबिया के खुशबू है बागों से बह चले जैसे कांच में चूड़ी के टुकड़े जैसे खिले खिले फूलों के मुखड़े जैसे बंसी कोई बजाए पेड़ों के तले ये तो झोंके है पवन के है ये घुंघरू जीवन के ये तो सुर है चमन के खो न जाए ये तारे जमीन पर मोहल्ले की रौनक गलियां है जैसे खिलने की जिद पर कलियां है जैसे मुट्ठी में मौसम की जैसे हवाएं ये है बुजुर्गों की दिल की दुआएं खो न जाएंगे तारे ज़मीन पर कभी बातें जैसे दादी नानी कभी छलके जैसे मम्मम पानी कभी बन जाए भोले सवालों की झड़ी सन्नाटे में हंसी के जैसे सुने होठों पे खुशी के जैसे ये तो नूर है बरसे गर तेरी किस्मत हो बड़ी जैसे झील में लहराए चंदा जैसे भीड़ में अपने का कंधा जैसे मन मौजी नदियां झाग उड़ाए कुछ कहे जैसे बैठे बैठे झील सी छपकी खो न जाए ये खो न जाए ये खो न जाए खो न जाए खो न जाएंगे खो न जाएंगे
Let's hope that with everybody's blessings, with everybody's involvement, Akshay Patra is able to reach its goal, its destination, जो भी लक्ष्य उनको पाना है, हम दुआ करेंगे कि वो लक्ष्य पाके रहेंगे।
Was anybody going that way in this way when the songs were going? I certainly was. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody who's joined us. I'm Radhika Iyer. I have the very good fortune of being a part of Akshaya Patra UK, this very compassionate team, which often works not on the basis of timelines, but on the basis of what the heart says. So thank you, Bhavani, for that meticulous update. Thank you, Juhi, for that beautiful melodious number by Shankar Mahadevan. Thank you, Erika, for that wonderful start. You really set the tone for this afternoon by saying what Gandhi said, that food to a hungry person is God. And anybody who enables or aids in that act is certainly doing a very spiritual thing. So a big, big thank you to all of you participants who joined us. Sam Bradshaw says, yes, she was swinging and swaying, and so I'm sure what everybody else. It's not just Shankar Mahadevan. There are several such celebrities, such good-hearted people who have clearly formed the spine of Akshaya Patra, as you have. And we'd be really pleased to air this audiovisual for you, which is a little testimonial collection from several influencers across the globe. So let's listen.
I'm so glad to hear that the Akshaya Patra Foundation has served over 40 million meals in 45 days to people who have been affected by this pandemic. I feel honoured to be associated with the Akshaya Patra national endeavour for student transformation to mentor children. I do hope that we overcome this pandemic soon, and I request all of you to support such organisations who are true Corona warriors. Stay safe.
These are very trying times, and wherever we look, there are reports of even more people going to bed hungry, and that's very, very disturbing. Akshaya Patra doing such wonderful work, especially in India, 2 million kids who get fed thanks to you all. Really, really gladdens my heart. 2 million meals on a daily basis, right? And even in the UK, I read about the wonderful work you all are doing. So more power to all of you, and God bless you. I'm ready to scream from the rooftops to draw attention to some causes that are very, very important and need immediate attention, like hunger. I really think that charity begins at home. And when I say that, I mean that you have to be the change you want to see in the world. Like I said, if you can impact one life, make a little extra food, feed one extra person, tell someone, someone in need who needs encouragement, who needs positivity, if you just have a conversation with them, if you smile for starters, I think that can make a difference. If maybe you fund someone's education, or in your free time sit and teach a child, it starts with one. That's my belief.
Congratulations to Akshaya Patra on completing 20 years of wonderful service in the form of midday meals to India's vulnerable children. Best wishes to them as they embark on their third decade of their battle to empower India's future generation. God bless.
Hi, I'm Kapil Dev, and I want to talk about Akshaya Patra. What a fantastic NGO, and they've done superb work during the COVID also. They looked after children, but during this COVID, they have given a meal to people, over 1 crore of people. It's easy to say, but it's very difficult. I want to wish them good luck. Keep up the same spirit. It's difficult, but it's fantastic to have charitable mind. I love you all. I want to say happy anniversary. All the best, and celebrate. Celebration will give you the happiness. You are looking after the people of our country. the needy one. Good luck and all the best.
It's an honor to be with you today on what I believe is one of the best programs to really make a difference in hunger in India and an example for the rest of the world. People often don't give because nobody they respect asks them. They don't think they can make a difference and they don't see the results. What you see with this program is the opposite. If from 2000 it's going from feeding 1,500 meals per day to 1.8 million meals. That is 1,000% increase. You're seeing it gain traction throughout the country, and it is really making a difference. So we're all asking you first to give. Those that have been most successful owe an obligation to give back. Secondly, you can see the difference and the results.
Thank you. We have been receiving such disturbing messages from India, many families affected. And here in the UK, even as the situation improves, we do understand that there is threat and social distancing. We are supposed to maintain some sense of safety. And during this time between 2020 and 2021, I'm sure all of you agree with me that we all have had a moment, and more than that, to reflect, to think of how we can be an agent for some sense of change. And I'd like to introduce you to this one individual. Of course, there are several people who really became the face of Akshaya Patra, who helped Akshaya Patra do such fantastic work. There's this one little girl. She's 5 years old. Her name is Shai. Shai Devilena is TAPF UK's officially the youngest fundraiser. She jumped a trampoline 500 times and raised about £1,300. Let's take a look at Shai Develena's inspirational story.
Jumping. What else? Running. Skipping. Kangaroo jumps. Yes, that's fun.
It's fun.
Yes. I like food.
Why?
Because it helps me grow and it makes me happy. My tummy hurts and it makes me tired. Yes.
Yeah. Why?
Because it is sad and they're hungry. I'm going to ride on my scooter in a journey.
And you do a long journey?
Yes.
On your scooter?
And go up the mountains.
Okay. To raise money?
Yes.
Hello all. I don't know whether I meant to start. I was rather hoping Radhika would jump in first. Radhika, are you there? Oh, technology is a wonderful thing. There we go. That's all I had to have from her. I had a green light signal. Oh, Bhavani, how lovely to see you! Oh my lord.
Looks like Radhika is having some technology network challenges, but we're so delighted to have you with us. And to all our friends, Parry is our amazing ambassador. I actually met Parry on Instagram.
Yes, we were very modern, weren't we?
Exactly, and we had a good chat, and I'm really glad, Parry, you're with us. And I'll just hand over to you. I think you have some wonderful things to say and lots to share with us. So over to you, Parry.
Thank you so much, Bhavani. I have to say, I'm going to try and be snappy. However, I feel rather overwhelmed after watching those VTs. And of course, I'd like to start off by thanking you, Bhavani, Radhika, and Erica for inviting me to be part of this wonderful event and really making me feel like a member of the Akshaya Patra family. I know we all know that feeling of missing a meal or even forgetting to eat. I don't know about you, but I can't think straight. We might feel lightheaded. We might get irritated and easily annoyed. Imagine that feeling being commonplace. I have the luxury, like I'm sure you do, to be able to forget to eat something and then just wander over to my fridge and find something I'd like to eat, or even run to the shop and buy whatever I might fancy. Our food is our fuel, and it's a vital building block. And Akshaya Patra takes this, on the face of it, really simple concept and executes it with such purpose and passion and tenacity every single day. When I think of the foundation, I think of community. Community at its best is when we provide help and support for those who are in need and build a framework that really creates change and takes pride and responsibility in helping those who are disadvantaged. And I think we can all agree, Akshaya Patra does this superbly. But couple that with the beauty of the foundation's name, Akshaya Patra, limitless pot. To me, this is the core value, the touchstone, if you like. And what a beautiful, generous, empowering image evokes. The pot of food that never runs out. As a mother, actually, as a human being, I feel privileged to have a connection with this foundation. And I feel such thankfulness for the foundation, for its service, and for feeding our children in need. And thank you to all of you for your unwavering support and being part of this wonderful community. And as a jazz singer, here is a little musical offering from me. It's a standard written by a French composer called Albert Beach, and it's called I Wish You Love. Whatever your circumstance, I wish you all health, happiness, safety, and of course, love.
I wish you bluebirds in the spring to give your heart a song to sing, and then a kiss, but more than this, I wish you love. And in July, a lemonade to cool you in some leafy glade. I wish you health, but more than wealth, I wish you love. My aching heart and I agree that you and I could never be. So with my best, my very best, I set you free. And I wish you shelter from the storm, a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love.
Thank you, Parry. And I really apologize. I don't know what happened. Click meeting threw me out. Didn't quite like my lipstick. Thank you. Wasn't that fabulous? We wish you love as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Parry Ray is a singer, songwriter, a mother, a podcaster. What else? She also started learning the piano or playing the piano at the age of 4. With a double physics degree, she just decided, let me just stick to music and be a happy person. And guess what her other name is? Parry calls herself a joy warrior. What a lovely thing to call oneself, isn't it? Parry, you were fabulous. Thank you really for that wonderful song. And truly, from all of us at TAPF UK, including the donors, we wish you a lot more health, good health, and a lot of love as you wished for us. Thanks. Moving on. As Bhavani said, here in the UK, Akshaya Patra began as a fundraiser, as a fundraising charity to support its India program, because at that time we thought that the need was more in India. And along the line, the leadership realized that, hang on a second, there's so much poverty here in Britain. We should be doing something here. And so the leadership team some years ago decided that we here can feed people with our experience that we have in India. We serve fresh food, simple but healthy food. Why not begin here? And thus, in 2019, started this program called Nourish to Flourish. This is a program that supports several children here in the United Kingdom. Children who are from low-income families, children who are beneficiaries of the free school meal vouchers, and who are often at risk of going hungry to bed during school holidays, which is why we began what we called the Holiday Hunger Project, where during holidays, and when it is not school term, we feed children at holiday clubs, community centers, wherever the need is. And now, since coronavirus kicked in, since the pandemic, because things have been so uncertain and because access to a warm plate of food has become that much more difficult, we began something called happiness boxes here in the United Kingdom. And we'd be really pleased for you to see this AV or an audio visual, which talks about just experiences that people had to share with us on receiving a hot plate of food.
Hi, my name is Nadia Pen. I work at Capital City Academy. I just want to say thank you, Akshaya Patra Foundation, for all your support you have given us during the lockdown, hot meals, and also the happiness boxes. On behalf of all the staff, students, families, and parents, and the whole community in Hudson, thank you so much for your help and your support.
I think the families are just grateful that they can come and collect a hot meal. The food has been great, and so they've come in and said, yesterday the pasta was fantastic, and what's today? So they're excited to see what they're going to have. There's something different every day for them, and fresh fruit. So we know that we're giving them a nutritious meal, a balanced meal. So I think that's been really important too.
Hello, I would like to thank Akshaya Patra for giving me this opportunity to volunteer as a driver to take food from here to 2 schools in Alperton. I also know that the children of the schools really appreciate the food they are getting. For instance, this was a card that was sent to us by one of the schools where all the children have written their own testimonials inside there, and Akshaya Patra is doing a fantastic job.
Thank you actually to Mayur and everybody else who has thanked Akshaya Patra for a volunteering opportunity, because without these volunteers, Akshaya Patra has really no hands and legs. So truly humbled and happy to share, and I share this sentiment on behalf of the entire team at Akshaya Patra. A.R. Rahman is a favorite for many, I presume, in this room. The Oscar winner, the singer, the musician, and somebody who also has great level of acknowledgement, appreciation for Akshaya Patra. And A.R. Rahman decided that he can donate music to Akshaya Patra. So he has compiled and his team has put together a very, very, very powerful video. The lyrics are, of course, in Tamil, which is a South Indian regional language. Many of us may not be able to understand the lyrics, but that's the whole point, because it's a visual that we need to watch. And I really urge you, as we play this audiovisual next, for you to please watch it till the very end to understand what it means for a child to receive a hot plate of food.
சத்தமுள்ள பாட்டு வரும் கண்ணங்கரு மேகந்தா உயிர் வாழ பயிர் வாழ மழை கொட்டுதே
ஒரு ஊரு ஒரு குடிசை நதியோரம் பச்சை மரம் பல வரிசை கள்ளமில்லா வெள்ளந்தியா ஊரு சனோ இருந்தது ஆரிரோ 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 ஆலங்காட்டு ஓசையில ஒத்தாசனோ தூக்கத்துல பூமி ரொம்ப தூரத்துல யாரறிவார் காரணம் ஏன் பிறந்தாய் ஏன் பிறந்தாய் ஏன் பிறந்தாய் நான் ஏன் பிறந்தேன் கண் ஏன் திறந்தேன் எனக்கே தெரியாது ஓகிறையோன் படைப்பில் எதுவும் அழகு
It is now my great pleasure to introduce Wayne McCardle, trustee and patron of Akshaya Patra for over 10 years. Wayne began as an external legal advisor before joining our advisory board, and now as a member of the board of trustees. Wayne, thank you for your enduring support and for your remarks here today.
Thank you very much, Erica, and a warm welcome to you all. And I just have to say it's been an honor and a privilege to serve this organization for the last 10 years, and I hope there's many more years of service that I can give to it. I wanted to say a few thank yous to many of the stakeholders and contributors to this wonderful organization, starting with our team at TAPF here in London, Akshaya Patra in London, who have been working tirelessly to support our mission. And with COVID, I know it's been a challenging year, and we really appreciate the enormous contribution you've made this year towards achieving our mission. We also get tremendous support from staff in India, who have to respond to our inquiries at all times of the day, given the time change. And we appreciate their invaluable support. Our colleagues in the US and our charity chapters in Europe and other parts of the UK, we also thank you for your support, which is invaluable and helps us deliver on our mission. We get support from local authorities, from schools and holiday clubs. Those are our frontline workers, our essential workers when it comes to delivering our nutritious meals to children and vulnerable people in need. And we also need to thank our friends at Watford City Council, who worked tirelessly this year to ensure that we had the kitchen up and running and launched on time. We have a number of very, very helpful and valuable charity partners. We have a number of very valuable volunteers. We work closely with an organization called Food for All to help serve vulnerable people in London. And I wanted to also mention very specifically the support and help we have from our partner, GMSP, God, my silent partner, and the Sactive family, who were instrumental in helping us launch the Watford Kitchen. Thank you. We have a number of support organizations, professionals who give generously of their time and expertise on a pro bono basis, such as Gibson, Dunn & Crutcher and Gersons, both law firms who have worked with us tirelessly this year to ensure the launch of the kitchen, to deal with a myriad of immigration issues and other corporate and legal issues. I wanted to thank the talented Perry Ray for attending today and sharing with us her wonderful talent. But most of all, and finally, I wanted to thank our donors. We simply could not do what we do without you. Thousands of children here in the UK and millions in India count on Akshaya Patra for nutritious meals. And it is our donors who allow us to fight food poverty and holiday hunger. We were overwhelmed this year by your generosity. We thank you. We call this gratitude, which means the feeling of being grateful or thankful. Watching the live chat board today, it's wonderful to see the supportive messages from you all. It's wonderful to see you all sharing the feeling of being grateful back to us. Thank you so much. Back to you, Erica.
I'm here. Thanks very much, Wayne. Radhika here, not Erica. Truly a pleasure to have you, Wayne, give us the sense of direction on how to go about things. You're truly our question board. We often run to you for answers. So thank you for being available. And truly your contribution is immense. And I'm sure Bhavani Singh Shekhawat, CEO and trustee of TAPF UK and Europe, who joins us now, will agree with me and sort of lead us into the question and answer round. There are so many questions and wonderful questions coming up, Bhavani. Would you be so kind enough to answer these, please?
Sure. If you can relay some of these questions, but I just wanted to thank Wayne, wonderful fellow trustee, and really a good shoulder to lean on in times of distress. We also have viewing with us Mr. Ravindra Chamaria, or RC as we fondly call him. He's our chairman. He's watching from a distance. He's in Calcutta, and he's been an avid supporter for Akshaya Patra UK from the time it was launched. And then we have a few other people, Chris Murali and many others. I can't really see all the names, but thank you for making the time. I also just wanted to say that the song that you heard just now from A.R. Rahman, it really asks some fundamental questions as to who we are, what's our purpose on this planet, and what is it that I can do to breathe better and create a better world. So, you couldn't get more, better inspiration than the music of A.R. Rahman and asking us some of those fundamentally empowering questions. So I have a few questions to begin with, and then I'll wait, for you to ask more questions. One of the questions really is around what do we do beyond meals? So Akshaya Patra was really set up to serve a very large number of children, as you know, but we quickly realized that these children may need a little bit more. These children need support for their education. And particularly during this pandemic, for example, some children just do not have a mobile phone. And if they have a mobile phone, they don't have the money to top it up. So we work with a range of other volunteer organizations in 3 or 4 important areas. One is sports and nutrition. Second is education and scholarship. Third is health and wellness. And fourth is in general well-being, soft skills. And what we do is we make sure that the child gets a fantastic plate of food, comes to school, stays in school, and then allows us to help us with their ambitions, which we then help harness by working with a range of these organizations. So we do have, along with one of our support organizations, a scholarship program. And the girl that you just saw was a beneficiary of our meals and then a scholarship program thereafter. We also have children who go through a sports scholarship. They're now training to be tennis players. We have children who've been learning soft skills, entrepreneurial skills. So yes, there is a lot more work under the Beyond Meals umbrella in these buckets, including fortification. So Akshaya Patra is now fortifying all of these meals. We realize that two of the biggest deficiencies in India are folic acid and iron. And all of our carbohydrates are now fortified with folic acid and iron. And we are doing a lot more to make sure that not only these meals are tasty and nutritious, but they also have the essential folic acid, iron, and amino acids that these children really, really need to grow their bodies and minds. There was another question, which is really around, how do we run the organization? Akshaya Patra is a fabulous example, even if I say so myself, of what we call think like a corporate, but work from the heart. So the mind of a corporate and the spirit of service. We have close to, in India, about 8,000 people, of which about 2/3 are employees, because we have drivers, we have people who are cooks, and to make more than 800 tons of rice every day requires technology, requires skills. So it requires skills ranging from drivers and cooks and volunteers, all the way through to people who can organize an ERP system, state-of-the-art artificial intelligence, robotics, blockchain, supply chain initiatives. We have to forecast the availability of rice and vegetables and wheat, and our menu changes, as you know. So we have to work with nutrition norms. So we have professionals working with Akshaya Patra. And despite the fact that we have a large number of professionally employed people within the organization and volunteers, we keep our overall admin costs to under 10%. So more than 90% of your donations go towards feeding these children. And in many cases, it is 100%, because we also have generous contributors who are willing to support our non-food or admin related costs. And particularly during the pandemic, many people came forward to say, we've had some very generous donors who wish to remain anonymous to say, you know what, I'd like to make a donation, but use this to keep your staff happy. So we do have really kind people who understand that it takes a lot of effort of both technology people, man and machinery, and women as well, to run this organization. So that's really the nature of this organization. There was another question around how can I really understand your work, and how can there's one, how can charity in the UK be able to partner with you to feed children, local disadvantaged people? I'm saying, just talk to us. The fundamental premise, as the way I see it, of Akshaya Patra is collaboration is way bigger than each one of us trying to individually do a range of things. We have to make sure in our world that 1 + 1 adds up to 10 and not less than 2. So yes, please call us, please reach out to us. We are there for you, happy to have as many conversations, and you never know what we may be able to cobble up together. Yes, if you indicate that your contribution has to be only used in the United Kingdom, it will be used in the United Kingdom, Mr. D. If it needs to be used in India, it will only be used in India, and we will give you not just a reassurance, but a guarantee to that effect. I've been rambling on, Radhika. Are there any further interesting questions that you'd like to come up and ask me? I think we've tackled this question. How many workers in Akshaya Patra are paid, and how many? It's roughly 2/3 and 1/3. We do have a very large number of volunteers, but we also have a large number of professional people who allow us to do this. Something that really makes me proud is that over the last 20 years, we've served more than 4 billion meals, and over 20 years, not one day for region has been missed, and not one plate of food has suffered serious contamination. And to be able to do that, it takes lot of skill and a lot of professional application. And we are very proud and grateful that the kind of people who help us do this have had the best of education. Sridhar Venkat, who runs our India unit and our CEO in India, is a Wharton Fellow, is an Eisenhower Fellow, is an MBA from an Ivy League institute, but he chose to do this. And there are many, many others. So I think bringing into play some of these professional skills and combining them with very, very focused volunteering and with the support of wonderful people around the room as we see today is really what allows us to do this. And then to top it all, we have the blessings of the good Lord and the universe.
Thank you, Bhavani. There are a few questions we've received via email. Mr. Nitin Parekh would like to know, with India now facing another pandemic wave, schools, are they going to be continuing to remain closed? What is Akshaya Patra's plan now in the near future?
Mr. Parekh, thank you for the question and for your support. Our plans, I think, this time last year, we were scampering because this was clearly unprecedented. But now we have a model that allows us to very quickly pivot our strategy. So if India hasn't announced a lockdown, but schools are closed, so we continue where schools are closed with our Happiness Boxes initiative. We are chiseling it, we are making it sharper, we are making it more impactful, but we'll continue with the box delivery. There are areas like in Tripura, for example, in the northeast of India, where we also have day schools. So where we can actually have children come in a safe and secure way, and we can give them both food and education. We will continue to do that. So till such time schools reopen, we will leave no stone unturned to ensure that these children are served food that will keep them not just going, but will keep them resilient enough to face all the challenges that will come their way.
Julie and Pauline would like to understand from you a little bit more about school sponsorships in India and whether you accept donations for scholarships, for sponsorships in the UK as well, and would you be serving at schools in the UK?
Well, we do plan to. It's in the UK, it's a slightly long drawn process to be able to serve schools on an ongoing basis. But we've already started, like Radhika said, a holiday hunger program. And currently we are also running an after school service. A lot of these children who come to school, and we have a curious situation in the United Kingdom that a large number of children are on free school meal vouchers, but a very large number of them who are not on free school meal vouchers are exceptionally poor. They are suffering from food poverty, but they do not have the government support. So these children either bring a sandwich from home or perhaps just buy something, a snack from the canteen. And for a lot of these children, schools have come forward to say, can we provide a little box of like sandwiches, snacks, pasta, baked cauliflower, which is what we serve every day from our kitchen. I believe today about 500 of these meals roughly went out. So we have started a holiday hunger service. We have started an after school service. We are looking at other services as we go forward, and as and when we get a lot more clarity around when will schools reopen, etc. You can sponsor an entire school in India for sure. We have a fairly organized system for under £3,000, about £3,000. I think we can sponsor an entire school for a whole year in India. So £3,000 will serve 300 children meals for more than 300, close to 300 days. And that really is the multiplier, because when you donate to Akshaya Patra in India, and we are, by the way, we've introduced the same model in the UK as well, but in India, when you make a donation, it is match funded by the government, and it gets another multiplier by Akshaya Patra. So when you donate £1 to Akshaya Patra, it does not become 0.8, it actually becomes 2.8 or 2.6 or 2.5, depending on the region and the geography. And that is the reason we are able to serve one child meals for an entire month in £1. And that is the power of the multiplier. And that is the philosophy of Akshaya Patra, that if you create wonderful collaborations, you're able to make 1 + 1 add up to 10. Do we feed children who are not at school at the moment? In India, no. Through the official midday meal partnership, no. But do we serve children outside of the school environment who need a plate of food? The answer is yes. We have a program which is Beyond Meals, and we have a parallel stream of work where children who are unable to attend school or families who are unable to put together a plate of food are served meals. But that's a relatively small service. Bulk of our focus is to combine food and education together. Do Akshaya Patra's children receive education as well, and how do I get involved? So we serve these meals in school. So yes, they receive an education. The challenge was when we started Akshaya Patra 20 years ago is, despite the government putting together a lot of schools and employing a lot of teachers, children were not turning up to school because they would rather work somewhere, be employed illegally, sure, to really feed themselves. And the whole idea behind Akshaya Patra was that if you come to school, you will not only get a great plate of food, but as a result of that, you'll have access to education as well. So Akshaya Patra's processes allow food and education to work together. But with the exception of one state, in Tripura, which is the northeast of India, where we also run schools through one of our associate foundations, because unfortunately there, children walk 2 to 3 hours every day one way to be able to get to school. These are the northeastern parts of India. Beautiful, some of the most beautiful geography that you'll ever see in your life, but some of the most treacherous terrain as well. And what we felt was that the reason children were not coming to school is the school was just too far. So we actually set up schools under the umbrella of Great India Talent Foundation. And please reach out to our colleagues and they'll tell you a lot more about it. In those areas, we serve food and we also provide education. How many children go hungry in London every day? The numbers range from 1 million and above. So all of the estimates that many foundations and many organizations have shared is more than 2.5 to 3 million children in the UK are living in food poverty. How many of those are in London? About a third. Mr. D, please send information. Yes, of course, my colleagues will be in touch with you. And yes, we'd love to do a lot more in the UK. We are currently in conversations with a few other organizations in other parts of the United Kingdom, where the incidence of food poverty, particularly amongst children, and holiday hunger is quite severe. And some of that data is available via Mayor's Fund for London and Food Foundation and many other organizations who estimate that close to 2.5 to 3 million children are risking food poverty in the UK. So it's quite a terrible number.
Bhavani, there's a question from Mark who would like to understand a little bit more about the transparency that Akshaya Patra follows. Could you take us through the program costs and the admin costs? What percentage?
I wish I could rattle these numbers off. But Mark, if you would want to leave your email with Radhika, she'd be able to give you exact details. All of these details, by the way, are on website broken down to the penny. So roughly 8% goes towards direct admin, 2% is another miscellaneous admin. So under 10% is admin, and over 90% goes directly into the program.
If there are any other questions, we're happy to take them. Otherwise, there is just one, actually two thoughts that we'd like to leave you with. Bhavani, could you talk a little bit about the Youth Hunger Heroes program? If you had a minute to share about it, what would that be?
Exactly. Thank you, Radhika. We realized that there is no better way to help these children than their peers getting involved. And I say this because during the pandemic, what I have noticed is the number of Akshaya Patra alumni who came forward and the work that IKEA Youth Association, it really warms the cockles of my heart, as to say, in more than one way. One is that it just really makes you feel a lot better about the impact of the program. And when thousands and thousands turn up, and you are able to then see the power of that one meal that transform their lives. But because they have seen the evidence of this program in their own lives, the kind of innovation they bring in is just unprecedented. And to me, today the world is talking about design thinking and all sorts of, systemic approaches. I think this part of that system is important. And that's why we have now formally launched Akshaya Patra Youth Heroes. We'd love your children to get involved. We'd love children and youth, everyone. I consider myself young, and so do many of you. But chronologically, those who are under the age of 22, or I think Radhika has it up to 25, must get involved. I think we need to get the next generation be supported by today's youth. And the youth program allows you to donate your time, your skills, clearly fundraise. Of course, that's one of the things. But also, today we need all kinds of services. We need a good digital marketer. We need someone who's adapted technology. We need someone who's a logistics provider. Even in London, for example, when we try and figure out, how to serve 50 meals in Tower Hamlets and 25 meals in Hounslow and 30 meals in Harrow, that requires a lot of planning, because you want to make sure that the food is served at 63 degrees. It does not become mushy. It doesn't require reheating. Our food has zero preservatives, zero additives, and that requires some skills. And therefore, I invite all the youngsters that we have around us to get involved and really come and help us to take this to another level. And that is the Akshaya Patra Youth Heroes program. A lot of that detail is on the website, but please reach out to us, and we'd love to do a webinar, a session with all of you, and things will get better and we will meet in person. But until then, let's not waste time, and let's get as many youngsters involved in this program as we possibly can.
Thank you, Bhavani. That was fabulous. And it's right that if you are a very inspired person and you'd like to drive some sense of social change, and if you're anyone between the ages 6 and 22, actually even beyond 22, why should the youth be only in the 20s? I think we are all young people, as Bhavani said. So if you're
the idea behind that was that they're still at university or college. So yeah, all young people, young in body, spirit, and mind too, welcome.
Absolutely. So if you are interested, feel free to connect with us. The link will be shared on the chat window. And there's one little task that I personally had to make as a request. Did you know that it takes £1 to feed a child in India for 1 month? And it takes £1 to feed a child here in the UK, which means £5, and you have sorted meals for one child for one whole week, one entire week, Monday to Friday. You could set up a direct debit. It takes a click, and on the chat window, if you feel inspired by this afternoon, the messaging that came through, then please, I urge you to sign up for a direct debit. Set aside £1 every month to start with, if you feel like, and just support a child. It takes 30 seconds to set this up, and the link is on the chat window.
Exactly. We call it the power of one. £1 goes a long way, and not just in terms of providing food, as you would have noticed, in really transforming lives. So thank you very much. Radhika?
Thank you. And with that, I presume it's the end of the questions. We are receiving some wonderful compliments. So really, thank you. Very humble to receive these. If you have further questions, please share them with us, and we will ensure that the response is sent to you via email, because we are at the moment running a little over on the event. I'm going to quickly hand back to Erica, who has one last bit before we call it a day this afternoon. Over to you, Erica. Thank you.
Thank you, Radhika. Thank you, Bhavani. It's my great pleasure to close the event today. Thank you all for sticking with us. I hope you've enjoyed our evening of gratitude. And over the last hour, you've met several people from our team, but there's an incredible team behind the scenes whose work ensure that we reach and serve as many children and people in need as possible every single day. So please join me in a round of applause for the TAPF UK team. And on behalf of all of us, thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
So once again, just a big, big thank you from all of us on behalf of my entire team, my fellow board of trustees who are with us today, members of the advisory board, and all of you donors. We just cannot thank you enough. Have a wonderful evening. Please keep talking to us. Please keep supporting us. And hopefully, we'll be able to ride this wave of pandemic too with gratitude, with love, and with all your blessings. So once again, on behalf of the millions of children you help us serve, thank you and namaste.